Hello, I'm Brian Paralisi, and I have a situation in a cotton field that we see pretty much every year. It's a late season cotton issue, oftentimes associated with potassium fertility, and I thought it was worth sharing. So I'm gonna try to show this video. I'm filming it myself, so just bear with me. So we can see here, this is a cotton field that was planted on April the 28th, and it was pretty dry throughout the month of May and June, but really good growing, good growing conditions, pretty good root system. This field has marginal potassium fertility. And so what we're seeing here is a potassium related issue. If you look at the leaves here, you see the beginnings of a potassium deficiency with the chlorosis starting from the outside in. And then you notice there's a lot of circular lesions on the leaves. And ultimately, these leaves are gonna come off. They're gonna not be very photosynthetic. Another thing to point out is the bolls. We have a really, some big bolls. This is some mature cotton, and that's pulling a lot of potassium. So to make a long story short, see, these leaves are coming off. They're gonna be fully defoliated. So what happens is, like I said, this medium soil test, K, it was really dry. So there wasn't enough potassium getting into the leaves during the relocation of the potassium to the boll. So this is one of the things that we're gonna see late season. So when you have sufficiency in if you took tissue samples, 3% K is sufficiency. So you won't see the symptomology like this until you get below 1%. So that tells me that these leaves were not showing symptoms. They were probably under sufficiency, but not showing symptoms until boll fill, because the plant's going to do what it can to get the potassium it needs to the reproductive structures. But during that, when the potassium levels drop, those leaves lose the integrity to defend against disease complex, things like that. So once the dry, we started getting some rain here. Some of this dry weather has gone away, and we've been getting some rain, which has opened the door for these pathogens. I'm not a plant pathologist, but most of this you're seeing is probably Alternaria, which a lot of these are going to look the same. Stymphalium, Alternaria, Cercospora, and it could be a little combination of all of that. But either way, this is what we're seeing here. So ultimately, when the sun comes out and it gets really hot, these leaves are going to be gone. But the question is going to be, what do you do about it? We're gonna spray a foliar K fertilizer on there, just to see, and I'll be back, a week after this just to show you. But the concerns I have with that is potassium fertilizers. It's a big cation you're trying to get into the leaf. So your best case scenario is going to be getting the big cation into the leaf, and that's going to be a healthy leaf. And all these leaves are not that healthy. They're showing symptoms, so they're 1% K or less. So you can't get enough out there to bring it to sufficiency. But the question that remains is, can you get the leaf healthy enough to not fall off and contribute to photosynthesis? So that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're seeing here. I hope that, if you see this in your fields, it's multiple things going to it. It doesn't necessarily mean that your potassium level in the soil is super low. It just really, it means that it's low in the plant. Could be environmental, could be true soil deficiency. But I'll be back in about a week or so, and we'll see how this field looks. I appreciate y'all watching this, and as you can see behind me, as you move that way in the field, you don't see as much of this, which probably has to do with water holding capacity and the potassium level in the soil. Thank you again. Catch you next time.